All right. I'm glad we got some folks here. Great. Now, just a reminder, folks, we have people in Harrisburg, though would be here Thursday, but really the people in Raleigh, remember, you're coming to Charlotte this Saturday. Bring your Raspberry Pi. All right? We're going to do some laser cutting, some really pretty cool things, but make sure you bring your Raspberry Pi. Okay? Does that make sense, everyone? I hope so. Okay, now, let's go through. According to Mr. Taylor, you guys have gotten to the point here where you're doing some Pong. Do you have the, did you, raise your hand if you've got a playing Pong game. What point did you get to? This Saturday, if you're in Raleigh, you're coming to Charlotte. Next Tuesday and Thursday is the Charlotte Labs. Go ahead and move that. You spawn the ball, that's it. So all you've got is you got it to the point the ball is coming down, bouncing up and down. No. Then what do we mean? Have you gotten to this point right now? Where it's touching the trampoline or whatever you're bouncing off of, and then it's going the direction. Have you gotten to here, ball hitting the paddle? Okay, I see a no, right? All right. Just to be clear, because I've gotten several answers here. All right, let me see what Max has to say. Yeah, Max, what's up?
I finished the ping pong game.
All right, well, let me see what everybody else has got going here. If you finished the ping pong game, raise your hand. All right, well. Okay, we got 2 people that have finished it. That's it. What we can do with those folks is we'll go ahead and add some features to it, all right? I was in at 5. It was only 40 minutes, 5:30. I don't know what that means when people are saying that. Aristotle, what are you talking about? Let me see if we've got a problem here. And we'll wait. Yes, Aristotle.
The 5 o'clock webinar on Monday started late.
Right, but that doesn't, yeah, we understand. So don't feel like you have to apologize, buddy. Don't worry about it. Okay? So that's, so some people may have, but let's just start at this. What part did you get to in the webinar?
Not that far.
All right, well then we're going to start right up here. We'll get everybody to be review for everybody else. If people want to do more, you can broadcast it. I'm just going to go through this right up to this point here. All right, if you've got your Raspberry Pi up, great. The reason we're learning this is because we will be bringing our Raspberry Pi, a box of your choice to make your case for your Raspberry Pi to shoot. And then what we're going to do is you're going to use your joystick to control. There's 3 games that now come in with the Raspberry Pi. A Space Invaders type game, what am I trying to think? Sorry, Space Invaders game, a Pac-Man game, and a 3rd game. You're going to learn how to take your joystick and control it. Plus, you'll have the underlying code, so you can change the icons and things. If you've got a school rival, favorite sports team, put them in the game. That'll be pretty cool. All right? So let's just pay attention here. Don't worry, there's no big problems. We're sorry that it got a late start last time. We had a little bit of a problem, technical bug. We had to get the installs. I did not want to do that. Hang on one second. I'm going to try. Why is it doing that? Oops. All right, let me go down here to Scratch. We're going to try to bring this up so you can all see it. So what you're going to do, for those people that weren't here, let me go ahead and get a PDF for those people that were here. And then that way they can go ahead and work onward. If you finish the first game, I'm going to send you a PDF to do a multiple person game. And then those people can work on that while I catch everybody else up. Raise your hand. We got 2 people finished. So I'm going to go ahead, download this. And I'm just going to download the first one so people that are ahead can go ahead. So there's lesson 1. Let's see where lesson 2 is. There it is. So here we're going to go with this. We're going to download as a PDF. And then I'm going to go to the other one. File, download as PDF. All right. And then I'm going to upload them to this drag and drop file so you all can get them in a minute. So just let's take a minute here to do this. This way everybody can work at their own paces. All right. Bear with me. All right. Now, folks, go ahead, look under handouts. I've got 2 handouts for you. Go ahead and download these. And then that way, when I go and review with everybody else, you'll be all set. We are working on Scratch, Hamilton. Just download. I've got files because we have different people got different points. I've got 2 files under handouts you can download and work at your own pace. Jordan, look under handouts. You should be able to click on it and let you download it. All right, raise your hand once you've downloaded those things so we can get going here. So Aristotle, Hamilton, if you want to, Jordan, please download these. Max, Adam, go ahead and download them. Even if you don't think you need them, go ahead. What help are we talking about, Jordan? Let me see if I can help you there, buddy. Jordan, you're muted. If you want me to help you, unmute yourself. I'm going to unmute you right now. Jordan.
Okay, where's the handout?
Look under on your right side where you see where the go-to webinar stuff is?
Wait, I'm on Chrome.
That still shouldn't matter.
Yeah, well, there's nothing that says go to webinar.
Okay, there's somewhere on your screen. Are you on a laptop?
No, I'm on a Mac.
Okay, well, on your, the Mac is that. On your Mac somewhere, every time you start to go to webinar, where do you go to raise your hand?
On my left side.
Well, look on your left side where you go to click to raise your hand. There should be some mention of handouts there.
Oh, yeah, here it Lesson 2 Intro Scratch and Young in the Years of Today.
You got it, buddy. Download those.
Alright.
All right? That way people can go at their own pace. They're a little bit farther ahead, okay? Raise your hands once you found them.
Dude, where's the download button that you download?
Click on the icon. Look at Handouts and download it. All right? See where the little...
I clicked on it and it just like showed up the page, but it didn't say like if I want to download it or something.
If you click on it, I believe it's downloading for you, buddy. It'll take a minute, okay?
Well, it doesn't say downloading.
Well,
yeah, one. One's downloading. It just says
one is downloading. It takes a little time. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute you just for a second here, bud. Okay, Melanie. If you guys have got yours downloaded, raise your hand so we can go on and move on here. This way, everybody can go at their own pace. Hamilton, would you please raise your hand if you got this? Who else can't find it? Jordan, you're finding it hopefully by now. How are we coming along there, Jordan?
Well,
I'm hearing it.
what did you say?
Okay, Jordan, were you able to download it? Were you able to get the handouts?
Yes, I got the handouts, but it doesn't say downloading.
All right, hang on one second. Let me mute you. Let me get Aristotle here. Aristotle.
Sorry, I just never put my hand down.
That's fine. No, Aristotle, did you get your handout? Aristotle, did you download the handouts?
Yes, I did.
Okay, when you clicked on it, how did you get them to download?
I didn't download it. I just opened it in a reader.
So you just double-clicked it, and it started reading it for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's all you need to do there, Jordan. Just double-click on it. Thank you, Hannah. All right, folks. Let's try to get rolling so that way. And let me see if my guy Henderson here. Hey, Adam.
Yeah?
All right, just because I'm just doing this by memory, so if I'm wrong, let me know. Did you win the bridge contest?
Yes, sir.
Did you get the thing from Adafruit today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just wanted to know. That's what we're trying to make sure everybody. We had a real hard time. For some reason, we think all our stuff was getting spammed. All right, I think you win contest kind of thing. All right, good. I'm glad you got it. What do you think you're gonna get? Should you start looking around?
Probably LED parts and stuff like that.
Cool. All right, cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. It should double click and you should be all right, Hamilton. It shouldn't be an issue to download. If I click on this, I'm trying to figure out if you click on this handout. Yeah, see, mine did the same thing. It downloaded it. Now it's bringing it up. It might take it a minute, but here's my handouts live coming up. I'll do just one side. There it is. So just double click it and you can read it. Okay, try again, but really would like to get moving, guys. Remember, everyone. And so in Charlotte the following week, bring your Raspberry Pis. Bring the box you want to build your little kit off of it. It's going to be very cool. If it's right, we can send it. Well, that's what it was. Yes, good. All right. Now, All right, anybody else right here? Let's go, okay? Okay. Now, I'm just going to I'm going to jump us right down here. We don't need to be going through the same thing 1,000 times. All right. What you're going to look at doing here is we're making a Pong game. And while I'm going to show you these screenshots off of this, if you can do it on your Raspberry Pi, great. If you can't do it on your Raspberry Pi, go online and use the Chrome, but you want to make them. What we're going to do is this will find your path. What you're going to do is you're going to need to draw 3 things. You're going to need a sprite. You're going to need to get rid of the cat. So go ahead and do that. You're going to need a ball. Go under Import Find. In fact, let me go ahead. I'm going to bring up just so you can see my screen. I'm going to use Scratch. Oh, wait a minute. I got to go to. Well, my Mac went down the other day, and now it's been a pain not having it. I have a better Mac than this. All right, here we go. I'm going to go Scratch. I'm going to go ahead and make these things with you real quick. I'm going to assume most people have done some of this in the past. Go a little fast. Got the handouts for those who don't. All right, there I am on there. I'm going to go Create. So, again, on a Raspberry Pi, it looks a little bit differently. Can't run on a Raspberry Pi, so they have to do it this way. Let me go ahead and pull this over. All right, so we have this. Okay. So, let's go back to my Chrome here. Bear with me. Okay, so here's my cat. First things first, I'm going to click on the cat right down here and delete them. Right click up here, delete them. You can also use the scissors and delete him. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to import some new sprites. First sprite I'm going to do is that ball. There's the beach ball. Then I'm going to bring in a paddle. All right. So I can find something like button and make that my paddle. You could draw one out, but for speed's sake, I'm just going to make that my paddle. There it is. I think she used, when we originally did this, we used a trampoline, but this will be fine for what we're going to do. All right. Now, you've got that. If you did something right now, not much going to happen. The ball is going to move, the paddle is going to move. So let's make the ball move. Go to an event. When I click on the flag, see if you can do this. Many of you, I think, would do. Point and direction down. I'm going to go down because I'm going down. I want it to come down there. I am going to move 10 steps. And if on edge, I'm going to bounce. And I want this to continuously to happen. And put it in a forever loop. This is on this sprite here, so here we go. Bouncing up and down. Okay, then the paddle is what we're going to do next. No code yet. We go an event when we click the flag, and according to our lesson, we are going to have the trampoline, or in this case this button, following my mouse. So I want this to do this forever. If you don't make it forever, what happens? Everything happens so fast, it won't even check. It'll run and you'll be stuck. In other words, if there wasn't a forever here, and all I'm going to do is move along the x-axis, set x to, I think I want to make sure I do it the same way they did it, so I'm going to look real quick. Yeah, set x to mouse x, sensing, go to mouse x. If I run that now, see, it only ran once. But if I put it in a loop, Now I get it both ways. Can't go up and down. All I can do is change my Y that way. If you let me know, have you done this part or not? You should by now, right? All right then. Sorry about that. Okay. Now we're going to do, okay, great, we've got it. Now what we're going to do is, so we've got to that part. So let's look at our handout. We tried it. Now this will cause it to fall and bounce, but we're going to set where the ball starts every time. So if you look at this code, when clicked, this is going to tell the ball to be in one location. Point and direction, in this case it's 45. We're going to change this to 90 or 180, so it's going to fall down. And then we're going to say if edge unbounce and then move 10 steps. So here let's go back and look at our program. All right, so here we go. So now we don't want to put this code with the button. We don't want the button to bounce. We want the ball. So we're going to point in direction, just what we have, this. But I want to always make sure the ball starts up there somewhere. So the first thing I might do is say, go to, because it's going to be wherever that ball is, I have my XY coordinates. So in this case, it's X, which is going to the left a little bit. I could move this over. I could say, I could also type it in, 0. And Y is up there. So every time it'll always stop, even though it's there, it'll always start up at the top. Okay? Now, go to the next step. All right? If you've got the ball going, you can make the ball fall down, make it go faster, make it go slower. I'm going to go ahead and assume most of you have done that. But what would be really great is we got to get the ball so it, when it hits that paddle, it's going to do something. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, if I run the program, there's the ball, it's not doing anything. All right, so well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put another if-then statement. Remember if-thens? If this is true, do this. So we're going to go. And by the way, in case you're saying, well, Scratch is for little kids, Harvard freshman programming students start with Scratch. And what this says, if I'm touching button 2, go ahead, turn 15 degrees. Okay. Let's try that. What would happen if we do that? Whoa, that's kind of funky. See that little slip action going? So that's probably, we need to point in another direction. So we're going to go up here and we're going to do this. Up. Let's try that. Now, it's only going straight up and down, so let's try this. Now we're getting a little angle action. See, last time it was turning 15 degrees, but you told it immediately to go not 0, so that just canceled out the 15 degrees. By putting it there, you get this range. And if you want the angle to be sharper, you make it more degrees. All right. Any questions so far? Let me see if I can blow this up, make it easier for you to read, everybody to read this. No, doesn't seem to want to. And you can find similar things in your handout. What is an if-then statement? An if-then statement tells your program to execute a certain section code only if that expression evaluates to be true. All right? So now, let's do this to this. So this says, if this is true, do that. If this is true, do that. All right? If this is true, do this. So here's what I want to do. Pardon me. I'm burping like crazy. Don't mean to. I'm going to go back to Chrome here. And I want the ball now. So when it falls, look, if touching the button too, what is it doing? Well, it's pointing in a direction, it's turning 15 degrees. But you know, even then, that gets to be predictable. If I'm the player, I know every time it's always kind of going off to the right here. So wouldn't it be great if you get it so it's random? Well, we can do that. We're going to do pick a random, instead of just doing point, turn 15 degrees, we're going to pick a random number between negative 30 and 30 degrees. So it can be anywhere in there. And we want negative 30, 30, so most of the time it's going to go straight up and down. But, let's get this. If you don't get the green arrow, look. So now, see how it did change? Makes the game. This is why you kids that love math, you're going to learn down the road how you could mathematically describe that. If I used the paddle, I used a little bit of backspin. What's going on there, right? Now, it looked like I got backspin last time, but that was just total randomness, made it look like that. Okay? All right, help me out here, folks. How's my pacing? Raise your hand on my pacing on this. Because we got all kinds of people going different ones. I just put up, I'm putting up a poll here. I'm going to launch it. How's my... And if you're not even looking at the PDF, you're looking at the PDFs, not even listening to me, don't even vote. Just go ahead and leave it, all right? Just say, I do not have an opinion, because that doesn't matter. You're not really listening to me. So please vote on the poll so we can get going. All right. We got 75% voted. They shared the results. Most people said pretty good. Some said a little fast. Apologize for being fast a little bit. I'll slow it down a little bit, but since most people thought it was all right, I'll probably stay there. Okay, let's hide that poll results. All right, now. So we just added a random number by turn, pick a random number between 160 and 200. If you watch the one I've got going, I'm just building as we do this. You can see mine is more that range, just staying between there. If you do 40 or something, you do a much sharper turn. All right. All right. Now, here's what we're going to do, is where we add a losing element to this. We're going to put what's called touching color red. I don't like touching color red, to be honest with you. If you look at this code here, if you add more steps when it's going through the loop, If you touch 10 steps, you make it. Now, you don't need to do this. This should be all part of the same loop. These are separate, and it's not really correct. This could be in that same forever statement, but you'd put those at the bottom. All right? So we're going to do something here, and we're going to touch a box, and if we all stops all, which is not really what we wanted. Let's kind of think about what we really wanted to do. We wanted maybe the game to keep going because we don't want to just end when the ball hits the red. You could do that. But I want to get it. What my design is, I want to make the ball disappear and then come back up on the spring. So it looks like I really did miss it. It went off the screen and I missed it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a couple more elements to touching the ball here. I'm going to do another, I'm going to make what's called a miss zone. We're going to call this a miss zone, and we're going to just draw it out here. We're going to do draw sprite, new sprite. I'm going to come over here on my screen, take a rectangle. In this case, I'm going to select red as my missed area. Let's go down here. Where's rectangle? I don't know why that's doing that. What's going on here? All right. Rectangle. Oh, because I'm not here in the right spot. Sorry. Let's hit escape again on this. This should take it off right there, and it didn't. Let's try clear. All right. Let's try one more time. You can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a grid here. Because I'm so blown up, I have to do this. See there? You can see the grid. I'm going to back out a little bit. And I'll admit, on my screen right now, you can barely see it. It goes something like this. And then I'm going to take a bucket of red. Whoops. Put that in there. Now, if I zoom in, you'll see the grid. See that grid? There it is. Now I'm going to move the whole thing up here or center it. I want to move, see where that X is? I'm going to put that right in the center of this. And it moved it in there. All right, great. And I'm going to call this miss zone. Oh, I don't want to add anything. Let's just back off on that. Didn't mean to do that. Go down here, cancel. All right, we're good there. We've got this drawing here. We got a big red square. We're going to put this red square here right at the bottom of the game. Scripts. Let's go back to the ball now. So I have this big red square. And you can tell when the game goes, I'm trying to move my, if I miss that, what's going to happen? All right, so that's the time to do another if-then statement. Yay, if-then statements. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to say if, you probably can figure this, go into control. We're going to do if, make sure everything in an if statement, test to see if that's true. If that's not true, it goes down to the next if-then statement. Not true, that we always want it to be moving. So these are stay out of the if statements. We always want them to be moving. Now this one is going to say, see if you can predict that before it was, oh, I got to name it. If I go back to that sprite, I need to name it. Click on I, and we're going to say that is, somehow I missed naming it, sorry. Miss zone. No. All right, let's go back to the beach ball. Let me go here. If touching, miss zone, I'm going to make the ball disappear. So I'll go to looks and I'll hide it. This is all occurring on the ball. Watch what happens. Whoa. Now I get it and the ball's gone forever. What are we going to do? Oh no. Well, it's because when we played the game, we told it to be invisible. So somewhere in the beginning of the game, if we start again, we need to make sure it can see it. So we're going to say show. Watch what happens now. All right, so plays normal. So I missed it. Boom, it disappears. Stop the game. There it is. Whoa, did it again. All right. Again, most of the code we're writing occurs on this sprite. So that's why. So if touching miss mode, hide. The problem is we don't want it to just stay high. We want it to drop multiple balls. So here's what you can do. You can say hide it. We can say point in a direction. Or we can say, yeah, that's it. We're going to hide it. We're going to move it to a spot. We're going to point it so it's going back down again. And we're going to decide where we're going to move it to. So we're going to move it. Wait a minute. Let's go to all right. All right. So then we're going to move it to this. We're going to hide it. Pardon me 1 second. Point direction 180 down. Okay. And we're going to go to the same place where we started. Up here, x is 0. And we're at y is at 137. Now, but it's still hidden, Mr. Dubek. It's not doing anything. You know what? I can tell the ball's moving because if you click on the sprite, you'll actually see it start to go. Oh boy. Great. That isn't working out so well. So what's going on? Well, we hit it, but we never showed it up again. And maybe we don't want to show it up again, so here's what we're going to do. When we go to control, we're going to wait a second so it looks like it had time, and then we're going to do hide. Well, what's going on there? Oh, wait a minute. What did I do? If touching pick random number, somehow I lost a piece of code here. Let me do this. Let's try this again. Good. Somehow I took a line of code out. Now let's see if it drops in. Now that's interesting. Oh, because I got hide twice. Man, you're silly. Mr. Dubak, come on. So we're going to go get rid of hide. And we're going to do show. Now watch what happens. See now, look how it looks like it just. See? Oh, can you show the button code again? Help, help, help. All right, John, no worries. We'll get you set. Sorry. Here's the button code again. Click over here. Look on your PDF. It'll have similar button. Just set. There it is. When clicked, forever set X to mouse X. Give everybody else a chance. once you have it, okay, that's okay, great. Sorry. I got to look up the questions there. I'm going to give everybody a chance to make sure they've got this. Give everybody a second there, and I'm going to jump on. All right. Need it again. I got it right. Look, go on your PDF. It'll show you. Look on the PDF. You'll see it up at the top. Here's the ball right here. There's the button. When flag, forever, set X to mouse X. Hopefully that'll help you out there, Jordan. All right, okay, got it done. Excellent. Now, let's look back at our other code here. All right. Let me go ahead. Sorry, my phone went off. I apologize. All right, now, instead of using that mouse, I like using my keyboard. So let's go back, and now we're going to use a keyboard. And this is going to be right where the button is, but instead of using our mouse, we're going to use a key. And the key here is, when clicked, you put it in forever loop. If I touch the right arrow, move the button along the x-axis, that's horizontally, to the right, because it's plus 10, just like in math. Move it to the left, it's negative. So let me go and show you exactly what we're talking about here. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to do a forever loop. And then another if-then statement. If-thens and loops are really powerful in programming. If sensing, if touching, if the right arrow key is pressed, I'm going to change X, and X in this case is going to be the paddle, by 10. Do that right now and see if you can get it. Jordan, give me a second. I got to get everybody else here, but I'll give you a moment. Now, do this right now, in fact. And this is the new ball code, Jordan, so you don't even need that code anymore. I just deleted it myself. You want to do wing flag click forever. If right arrow is pressed, then change X by 10. What would you do to make it so the left arrow and X goes by negative 10? So X goes in a different direction. How would you put that on the computer? Go ahead and do that. Raise your hand once you have it. If you guys are already way ahead of me, some of you I'm sure are, raise your hand so we don't wait for you. Putting everybody's hands down, raise it if you've already done this part. If not, we want to change the mouse paddle. So like if I run this right now, here's what would happen. I'm going to have to move this over here because it won't work. Let's run that again. I can't go to my left, but I can go to my right. So figure out how might you do that. Good job, Adam. Good job, Jordan. The rest of you, come on. Give you a few moments. All right, how we doing? A couple more folks. Raise some hands once you have it. And I'll give you another minute or so. We're going to go ahead to the next here in a minute. Good. But it won't go to left. So you got to add some more code to make it go to left. Here's how we do that. You go another if-then statement. If statements are very powerful. Sensing if touching, well, whoops, wrong thing. If touching, if key left arrow, then we're going to do motion, move, change X, got ahead of myself, by -10. See? Now I actually have a game. All right. Just look at that code. Let's get rolling on this. The ball won't move. Click the big green arrow up here at the top. That's why. If you click just here, you're only controlling that. Click the big green arrow now. Well, you've changed something in the step of your ball. If you clicked on the flag, you've changed something, Jordan. All right, let me ask some other folks. Melanie, have you gotten this to work? Kelsey, Max, Hamilton, how are we all doing down there? Aristotle. I'm going to go ahead. Hopefully everybody's got the keys. Jordan needs the ball code. Jordan, by the way, you can look at your PDF. It'll give you some of the same things, but look at this right here. You're going to be looking at your ball right now. Make sure you see that move 10 steps. If on edge, make sure that's on the outer side. It's not inside any of these if-then statements. Well, you know, the good thing is Aristotle likes the mouse way for moving is good. Then you can sit and move it back and do it that way. That's the great thing when you make the game yourself. We want you to make things that are customized to you, to what you like. All right. You deleted the code. Uh-oh. That wasn't good. They have an undo button. All right. See where it says undelete right there. You can click on the undelete button. All right. It's getting to be 7 o'clock now. Any questions? Raise your hand if you're coming to Charlotte Saturday. Raise your hand if you're coming to Charlotte Saturday. Do we have anybody from Raleigh on here today? God, I believe we have some. All right. Well, I look forward, guys. Get here. Make sure you got your Raspberry Pi and your box to put it on there. You're going to get to use laser cutters, 3D printers, all very, very cool. All right? Very good. All right. With that in mind, we're going to go down. Yeah, woohoo. Go ahead and undelete it and you'll be all set. Save this. Save the PDF. Next Monday, we're going to go over some more of it because our goal, folks, is the new Scratch. This all just came out in the Raspberry Pi. That's why this stuff is constantly changing. We will be able to control the game with the joystick you're getting. You're going to make it, though. You're going to wire it all in, and you're going to understand what's going on. It's going to be very cool. All right? All right, then. You all take care. Bye-bye.